The following podcast is intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These conversations may contain material that some viewers would not find suitable for younger viewers and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue, as well as dark or black comedy. In other words, if you choose to ignore this disclaimer, we're not held liable for your poor reading and listening skills. You've been warned. So, folks, if you're just tuning into this Patreon exclusive sketch, you know, I promised you some Patreon exclusives, and well, we couldn't do this during the actual live stream because the contents of this conversation are definitely not Twitch TOS friendly. 100%.
Patreon TOS.
Patreon's fine. It's fine. People are paying money for this information. It's fine. It's an exclusive. But and YouTube would probably be like, that's borderline kind of. But we're gonna learn how to make a very interesting gamer drink thanks to Paul's scientific brilliance. Plus, we're also gonna have a brief conversation about some stuff that we couldn't talk about on the live stream. So, but take it away, Paul. How do you make this very clearly delicious elixir?
So when he mentions something that make him hyper and raged, it's like, oh goodness.
Mm-hmm.
How hyper and how raged are we going?
Right.
Because I have worked in the workout supplements field, so I actually do know how to chemically induce some of this hyperactivity. And I also have some experience dealing with bioweapons, so I also do know, and as well as some history, mytho-history, literatures, and so I do know how to make the Viking Berserker potion, which is what they fed their warriors to make them go crazy.
Yes.
However, we don't need to mix the whole thing. We just need to take the psychoactive elements.
Oh, and for context, what game are we referencing?
What do you mean, what game?
The drink, the potion that you're talking about, the trailer.
Talking about history.
No, but this brought up because of what Witcher 4 and the drink that she drank?
No. When I'm saying bringing up history, what kind of extract do you drink
Oh,
to make
got
yourself
it.
raging?
Got it.
I said Vikings would give this to their
Got it.
warriors, but we don't need to make the whole Viking potion
Right.
because we just know what the substance is. It's Aminata muscaria extract. This particular Mario mushroom would actually throw you into a frothing rage. The Vikings mix this with bear blood and mead, so you'd be a little buzzed. The bear blood actually does have some nutrition in it, but it's not great overall for nutrition. It is great for, believe it or not, because it does contain all the stuff you need to make blood. So you're not blood packing, but you are providing like some regenerative things that you need to make more blood. And then the Aminata muscaria mushroom, which you can just buy the spores and grow it at home. Do not do this. Is your rage inducer here. However, your rage inducer here is not something that taken alone. And I am saying, do not do this. Do not do this.
And that's why this is a Patreon exclusive. Do not do this. But
yes, because caffeine will give you quite an interesting hype. However, for longer lasting caffeine, because you have caffeine crash, but if you want caffeine that kicks in 2-3 hours afterwards and then eases you back down, you can get something called dicaffeine malate, which is like a second kick of dicaffeine malate here. You are also able to get something called actually this one's not as no, that's just the green tea. That's a lighter caffeine, Camellia sinensis green tea extract. But for the really immediate kicker, you mix caffeine and hydrous, so dicaffeine malate, caffeine, and hydrous, Aminata muscaria extract, and beta alanine. That will throw, and occasionally you can throw in some nitric acid, which you find in Vicodin, actually. That will open your blood vessels, flood you with like quick muscle contractions, make you crazy, and wake your ass up and when to burn off energy.
Quite a
So
bit,
like,
in fact.
do not do this because I have not done this. This is not medical advice. Do not do this at all.
Yeah, do not do this. We have to really like push this to you folks. Do not do any of this.
So now Iron has to pay money to see this.
Yes, Iron has to actually pay cash to see this. So, and you know, the people at home listening to this, I hope you have paid some money to see this. Do not do this.
You can take any of these except the fly muscaire and fly aminata by itself. Do not take the fly aminata by yourself.
No.
We will be seeing you on the 5 o'clock news.
And the 6th, and the 7th, and possibly even the 8th.
And me being called in to ask why I told you this is not the future I have envisioned.
No. Like, hey, we heard that you were involved with a Patreon video about mixing some neurotoxins, chemicals, and mind-altering, body-inducing,
Substances.
yeah.
I also know how to make panzer chocolata too, but we're not doing that.
No. Weird.
You know what that is, right?
I have a vague understanding, yes. So.
Yeah, we're not making panzer chocolata.
No. So.
I am trying to make chocolate, which is the original hot chocolate recipe, but we are not making panzer chocolate.
No. So, especially considering chocolate's very interesting origins in history and some of the ingredients themselves, yes. So.
Chocolate?
Well, that and just, you know.
The Aztec thing?
The Aztec thing and the whole Colombian stuff. Because Colombian cocoa beans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Colombia right now, so.
Yeah. But just, you know how, like, there's, like, pure cocoa extract and, like,
yeah,
people will use that for certain things. That's more what I'm referencing.
Oh, theobromine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're using theobromine for stuff.
Yep. So.
Yeah, you could use theobromine for stuff, but obviously, 1, medical, 2,
don't do any of this.
What the heck you were doing?
Yeah.
Because, like, I understand why I don't do it.
Right.
I know how to make panzer chocolata. That does not mean that I am going to teach you how to make it.
You have the knowledge, but you're not going to actually do it.
That's correct. Learning how to make it turned me off ever wanting to do it.
You were like, now that I know the secrets of the universe, I dare not ever recreate this.
Want to learn how to make mustard gas and other
No!
You can do it with stuff that's in your sink right now.
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, here's the thing. I will tell people how to make it, and then I will say, like, do not do this, because people have accidentally made mustard gas in their sink, and subsequently made themselves extremely sick.
Yes.
So, when I say do not do this, I mean it. Like, do not.
Do not do
I do not want
this.
to see you on the 5 o'clock news.
No. God, no.
And we already have people having bath salts, so
Yeah.
you know, instead of taking a bath, they're just snorting the salts.
Yeah, because why would you just take a normal bath? So. But no. Also, the reason why we're doing this Patreon exclusive is because we're also going to be talking about a few other things that, like, we didn't get a chance to really expand into during the live stream. More specifically, there's a few topics, but one of the ones that I want to kind of continue was the Horizon topic, because, like, so
I was definitely turned off the entire game after 2 hours.
yeah, but so, like, is it just, so my question to you is this then, because, like, now that I understand the context of what you mean by it being like a parody of itself, is it really just the writing and the tropes that turn you off? or is it the
was
aesthetic?
the first 2 hours. I saw it the first time. It's like the aesthetic, like piqued my interest for sure. But when you're trying to make a first impression, and the first impression is not for me, because there's first impression is the
Right.
trailer, and I thought, okay. Second impression was the actual story when I got to see it, and that was what killed it for me.
Okay.
Because you can have fantastic gameplay and an ass story. Very rarely can you have ass gameplay and a fantastic story and pull it off. But if you have fantastic gameplay, fantastic aesthetics, and an ass story, like a mid story and good gameplay, you can carry. Like Destiny 2.
Right, but in this case, this was an ass story and mid gameplay
It was
for
an
you.
ass story, and then but the aesthetics, and like so within the first 2 hours. So like that was it. I got to see the first 2 hours, and it's like that turned me off of ever wanting to buy it.
We'll see, and that's
And
what.
I did see the first 2 hours of the second one as well,
Yeah,
and even the people who were playing it loved the story, but their complaints, for the first 2 hours of the second game were, this doesn't make sense. Why is this character doing this?
right.
This is just bad writing. And
Well,
so if you kick off your series with like, this is something really dumb, but we're hoping you get to the good part later, it's like, wait a second. What?
well, and that's now that I understand where you're coming from. That is exactly how I feel with Last of Us Part Two. Like, I got about maybe a couple hours into Last of Us Part Two, tried to finish it, and then for some reason, something was telling me this isn't worth finishing. This isn't worth finishing. And so I looked up like the rest of the story and watched like a let's play of it on YouTube. And when I saw how the story progressed in the way that it did, especially with Ellie, I was just kind of like, yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't finish this. I would have really been mad and hated myself. So,
Yeah.
which I still
But then
have the
again,
game. I still own it. It's just
yeah.
I'm not motivated to finish it now, especially with kind of knowing what happens. And I feel like the way you feel about Horizon is how I feel about Last of Us Part 2.
Probably. I do know some of the story bits from Last of Us 2. I did watch all of The Last of Us 1,
Mhm.
because that was when I was having to do my master's thesis. So, I had time to have sit in the background, but I did not have time to engage. What's up, Dusty?
Hey Dusty. We're doing a
Welcome.
Patreon exclusive. You're welcome to join.
Would
Oh,
you like to learn how to make Panzer Chocolata? I'm kidding. I've already said I'm not teaching anyone how to make that.
yeah, because I don't know what the fuck it is.
You know what? You know what the German commissars fed their Sturmtruppen before they send them to rush the American trenches?
No.
Is it supposed to be a joke? I don't know. I don't know.
No, that's dead serious. Like,
No, we don't
Nazis were
know.
on meth.
No, we
The
don't.
Nazis were on meth. They were on meth mixed with chocolate.
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Meth chocolate.
You
Yes,
know,
it's meth chocolate. Panzer
you know,
Chocolata, Panther, Chocolata,
okay.
chocolate. Literally
Mm,
meth chocolate.
Wow.
I
you
know how to
know,
make it. You're not
I
making
shouldn't,
it,
I shouldn't be surprised by that.
I'm
but I
not.
know how to make. I mean, I have. I
No,
have
no,
experience with weapons.
no,
Oh, they
no.
give them.
I'm just not. I just shouldn't be surprised that the Nazis actually did that.
I'm not surprised
Yeah.
about that either. I'm not surprised that they did that. And in a weird way, since Paul's like my big science friend, I'm not surprised that you have the knowledge, but that makes me feel safe knowing that you have the knowledge but refuse to teach anyone about it.
Yeah.
So
There's actually a lot of comfort in that, actually.
there is a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
know how to
comfort
do
in
lots
that.
of things that I do not like. I study bioweapons,
Yeah.
and one of the things they definitely teach you within the lab here is like, hey, there's like certain things that you do not do.
Well, and that's why you're my main science friend other than Alexa. So, because it's like her field of
Yeah.
science is very different. It's more involving NASA and space, but
Hmm.
your field of science is more with labs and compounds and chemicals. So,
Yeah.
but
Pretty much.
like
Oops. There we go.
there you go. But
Yeah.
no. So like the
There we
way
go.
you feel
Original
about
wrapping.
yeah. The way you feel about Horizon is how I feel about Last of Us Part 2. So that makes sense cuz I just wanted to expand and clarify that cuz when you said, "Oh, it's a parody of itself," I didn't still quite understand that, but now I know where you're coming from.
I mean, considering we already got a Lego version of Horizon,
Right, but
Yeah.
he's talking
that
about
was
the
way overexposed.
original Horizon game, like the
Oh,
first
the
one.
original game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't get that far in it. I remember loving exploring the world, but I couldn't really get into a lot of the characters. I think that was my only issue with
And
it.
that's what Paul was talking about is that
yeah.
the writing with the characters really was just a door stopper for people.
Dusty will. Let's see how Dusty confirms on this. A game can have a mid-story and great gameplay and succeed.
Yeah, it can
Okay.
because the story's not the main focus of a game.
Yeah. But here's the thing: if a game has mid gameplay and the story is ass, will it succeed?
No, it deserves to fail.
Yeah.
See,
And so when we had, especially in the atmosphere that Horizon Zero Dawn released in, we had Assassin's Creed. We had, I think it was Black Flag had just come out.
yeah,
So we had a bunch of exploration
Uh,
game.
Black Flag came out a few. Actually, Black Flag came out now in 2014. It came out a few years before Horizon.
Okay, so this would have been one
Horizon
that
came
came
out
out.
the same year as Breath of the Wild, which yeah, Breath of the
Really?
Wild is was a much better game. Hmm.
right.
Yeah. Okay, I did not realize because I did not get a chance to play Breath of the Wild until
Oh,
earlier in
I loved Breath of the Wild. I
Well,
adored that
and
game.
to be fair, Paul, I mean, w- like your stuff involving TV and video games is still limited this because of your work and because of what you do and everything. So that's not your fault. That's just you being
But I
an
did
adult.
also like study a lot of these stories and histories, and I think the first time I actually saw the I'm trying to remember the movie now. It was a tank movie, World War II tank
Fury.
movie. That was it.
Fury.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, because I know how these stories go and how storytelling, and because I've studied all these cultures and storytellings and methods of storytelling in my undergrad, I was drunk when I first saw Fury. My friends were there too. They had taken me out, and I spoiled the entire movie in 5 minutes
See,
because I
when
knew storytelling tropes and I knew how it was gonna go, and I was drunk on my ass and I spoiled the entire movie in 5 minutes. I'd never seen it before.
let's see, I got drunk before a movie one time, but we ended up watching Rob Zombie's The Monsters.
It was my
I l-
21st birthday, so
mm,
The last
yeah.
movie that I actually got drunk for, not counting Y2K recently, was uh Hobbs and Shaw. And the reason why I did that was because a good buddy of mine, Eric, uh, it
Honestly,
was
that movie is great to watch drunk.
so funny story behind that, and this is the reason why this is a Patreon exclusive. Um, so for Eric's birthday, we we all kept asking him, "What do you want to do for your birthday? What do you want to do for your birthday? What do you want to do for your birthday?" And he was like, "Honestly, as corny as it sounds, I just want to do like just a simple like dinner and a movie, but I want it to be like extra bougie." And I'm like, "Okay, so dinner and movie, but bougie style." He was like, "Yeah." So we went to the restaurant of his choice, which we went to a Brazilian steakhouse that was God. I have to remember cross streets in Arizona. It was
Was it the one in Scottsdale or one in Gilbert?
the one in Gilbert off like Val Vista and like the
I think
highway.
I think that's Rodizio Grill.
Yeah, that's the one,
Yeah.
Rodizio Grill. So we went
Hmm.
there ate like gods, right? And
I
did
mean, it's Brazilian. Yeah,
steak.
you're gonna eat
You're gonna
like a
eat like
god
a
there. Yeah.
god. But we ate like gods, had fun, ate, drank, and did dessert. And then his birthday present to me was that I paid for his and my movie ticket because him and me and a few friends went to go see Hobbs and Shaw. But we went to the nicer AMC. What the fuck was it? It was the one off of Higley with the Dolby Cinema, and they were offering special drinks and cocktails. And me and Eric were already both a little, ooh, because of the Brazilian steakhouse. So we wound up ordering more drinks, and we got hammered. And all we did was poke fun at the movie in the theater all throughout the movie, completely sloshed. And
Now, were
I mean,
you by yourselves in the theater, or were you?
no, we were with a group of friends and like maybe a
Oh, okay.
few people in the back, but the few
Oh,
people in the back were also drunk and sloshed.
okay, so because I think the only time let's like I've actually like talked over a movie in the theater,
Mm,
me and my buddy, he'd just been discharged wounded. Um, we had the theater to ourselves.
yeah.
yeah. I took a date to see. This is a long time ago, but yeah, this was over 10 years ago. The only time I actually broke and started screaming during a movie was seeing Stephanie Meyer's The Host with a date.
Oh,
Mm.
damn.
The only other person in the theater left about 20 minutes into the film. I could not contain myself yelling at how awful that movie was.
Yeah.
And this girl I was with, this is my ex-wife. Well, my now ex-wife. She was laughing her ass off the entire
Now
time. I
here's
was losing my shit how bad this movie was.
Yeah.
now here's the thing. Yeah, but if Dusty gives me some cues to the host, I could probably and he's already said it's bad. I could probably give you the whole storyline, and we'll see how.
Let me make it easy for you. It is the same story as The Day the Earth Stood Still,
Oh,
with invasion of the body snatchers.
Yep. Yep.
okay.
And
So,
it is written by someone who doesn't like sci-fi.
Yeah.
goodness.
Also,
It's
Yep.
Dusty, I
awful.
assume you're here to talk about Game Awards with us.
Sure.
Oh, okay. So,
Also,
I'm here
yeah.
to. You know me, Crash. I like to shoot shit and talk
oh,
garbage.
that
So.
I didn't know what you had planned. I thought you were here to chat about
Do I
Game
ever
Awards.
plan shit?
No, you don't.
I just kind of do things.
You just do shit. Like,
Things.
Me too, but
that's what we all do. We all just do shit.
I'm a dog chasing cars. I don't. I guess I have no idea what to do with it.
Okay, but what car?
it's a Porsche, just like in the new IP.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so all right.
Okay, so
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say this about that game, Intergalactic, because yeah. A Porsche on a spaceship, really?
And a Sony and some Adidas.
Well, here's the thing. So sci-fi is if you take your question and you take a question asking the world what if X and what do the results of X look like, and then you build up the universe around it to answer that question, and then you think of every Star Trek episode. You realize every Star Trek episode, barring some of Archer and throw away the whole Discovery series, they come across a question, and then the world is set up for them to examine the question, and then they set it up. Like in Archer, I say Archer, but some of his later ones became what you call it, more action adventure. But in Archers, there was one where they found metaspecies with a third gender. It's like, how did the people were asking, well, how does that work? The whole Trills in Deep Space Nine and the next Stargate. There's a parasite, a symbiote that lives in this species, and the symbiote retains all the memories. So what does it look like when this symbiote passes on? Now what does it look like when the symbiote passes on? But the symbiote, the person that was in there, was in a relationship. What does that look like? And so that's sci-fi right there. Cyberpunk is when you have a massive corporatist structures that control everything, and they have no regards. And I'd say like no regards. You can already diagnose corporations, and a lot of them do act like psychopaths. Um,
We learned
where
that in
See,
recent real
nowadays,
life
that's,
events. Yeah.
I mean,
we will rip.
that's,
Oh yeah, I'm aware, but I'm I'm
yeah.
playing Cyberpunk. Like, okay, you drive a car for this company, for Amazon, right? But wouldn't it be so much easier if we had a caffeine stimulant injected into your neck so you could always be, or Panzer Chocolata injected constantly into your neck so that you're constantly awake and alert while you're driving? Now you can do a 24-hour shift and you can only work 2 days. But now that you're awake and alert, we could have 3 hours. So now you could have a 72-hour shift and be off the rest of the week. That's cyberpunk there, where you're now getting into body augmentation, but you have heavy corporatist. So, to that degree, Borderlands is not really a sci-fi; it's a cyberpunk.
Okay, but we're talking about
Cyberpunk is,
Intergalactic, not Borderlands.
yes, intergalactic, because we saw Porsche, we saw Sony, we saw a bunch of this big corporate stuff listed there. That makes me think this is a cyberpunk, not sci-fi.
Which, I mean, if that's the case, I wouldn't necessarily be against that idea because, like, here's the thing. Minus Last of Us Part 2, right? And we'll deal with the elephant in the room. Minus Part 2, Naughty Dog has a 95% really good track record with all their games.
Neil Druckmann is writing this game. I'm shelving it right away.
We don't know that. It wasn't even confirmed.
Yeah, again, if he's the writer and director, I'm not playing it. He pretty much lost his mind after Last of Us Part 2.
Oh no, he did straight up, and like he's absolutely gone cuckoo. But like you
Yeah,
know,
and also apparently Porsche and Sony aren't the only brands that are going to show up in the game. Apparently, they're also promising Adidas and
yeah,
Porsche,
we saw the
Adidas.
shoes in the trailer.
Yeah,
That's just product placement. That's
I'm
just fucking
it is.
product placement in the video game.
If it's cyberpunk, then
But like
so
even
then
Cyberpunk kind of is smart about it. It's not
it's
as
not blatant
obnoxious.
about it.
Yeah, this one just Intergalactic. It's just blatant.
because we don't live in the world.
Well, and that's why like for
That's also
me,
part of why I like those kind of futuristic things because the brands most of the time, yeah, you used to build billboards and brands, but they're not ones that exist
well, and
in our world.
that's why with
But
this
might say,
game,
hey, what's a Maliwan? What's Maliwan?
yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, right off what that is.
Well,
I also think there's a little bit of lack of self-awareness if they put themselves in a cyberpunk. But I feel like a lot of these companies don't have a lot of self-awareness.
no, they don't.
Oh no.
They
Neil
straight up
Druckmann
don't.
has no self-awareness at all.
Well, no, and not even just Neil, but like companies in general right now have like zero self awareness, which is
Yeah,
kind
but
of ironic.
I'll probably end up checking out the soundtrack because it's being done by Trent Reznor.
I see. For me, I'm a sucker for sci-fi stuff. You know me, multiverse traveler. Ha 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 ha. But like, for me, the problem with Intergalactic for me is this. It unfortunately still breaks my one rule. No gameplay, no hype. What we saw was just a cinematic teaser, if you will, a long cutscene, if you will. So
Something that Naughty Dog has done ever since Uncharted.
right, and which is fine, and I do love the quality of their work with their cutscenes and animation. That's not what the problem at hand is. The problem is we outside of what we saw tonight, we don't really have a clear idea of what this game's about other than okay, there's a girl, she's a
This
bounty hunter,
She's
and
going
she
after someone who's on this planet. And she
yeah,
gets stuck there. That's basically what's going to be.
and she has a manager that takes care of the contracts. So,
A
which
manager that looks pretty much like a dark-haired version of the girl from Black Lagoon.
yeah,
I think what Crash means here is this going to be a heavy narrative where the entire game takes place on one planet tracking this down? Or is this
Yeah.
going to be more like
It's
gonna be more like bounty hunting. Like, here's your contract, go get the contract.
Right.
Like somewhat
it's
similar to Skyrim's Radiant
yeah,
point
Yeah.
yeah.
system.
It's a Naughty Dog game, so I'm betting it's going to be a linear game, and the main target's going to be going after the bounty throughout the game.
Which, I mean, I'm fine if that's the case, and kind of a wish list here, but like, it would be cool if like it was a linear story, but they basically did it where like, oh, you still had to hop from one planet to another, still chasing this one guy down, like a cat and mouse sort of game. But like, I don't think they're gonna wind up doing that. I think they're gonna wind up going with the first option of no, you're just
All
on
on
this
one
one
planet.
planet and that's it.
Yeah.
So, but I could be wrong. Again, I have to wait until gameplay actually gets shown and we get more details. But the big thing, the big thing.
Something terribly hilarious.
Hmm.
Japanese did their concept of bounty
Um,
hunter. Their first exposure to the term bounty hunter was Star Wars, and so they thought bounty hunter just meant space explorer with a gun.
Meh,
Yeah. But,
That's why the Metroid games don't have a currency.
true.
yeah.
What were you gonna
This
say,
is why
Dusty?
I was just going to move on to Okami 2, which
Yes.
no gameplay.
Yeah.
no gameplay. And personally, I never played Okami, so I have no real grounds to judge or show any excitement towards it.
I'm
That's why I'm just kind of on that
I'm
one.
hyped because we got confirmation that it exists. That's the biggest hype for me, but I can't be hyped about the game itself yet. I'm hyped more at just, oh hey, it's confirmed.
I gotta go to my library to show everyone this one.
What
Let's see.
what game?
See if I can scroll down. Because maybe I don't know. I might have to go into the thing.
Oh,
Anyways, they announced the Long Dark 2. I'm
Oh,
gonna point out
yeah.
something. The Long Dark 1 isn't finished.
yeah. You were very upset about that.
So they released the first game, and it was the Long Dark episodic story series Wintermute. Okay, and it's kind of cool, kind of good. Then later on, they released a survival mode, so now you could kind of endlessly play survival mode. Then, as a paid DLC, they released a second set of episodes. I don't remember what it's called. I'm looking at it now. Tales from the Far Territory, which is 6 episodes long. The original Wintermute is 5. They've only made 4 of them, and before they've finished making their first game, they've announced the second one.
Yeah.
Just the idea there. It's like, wait a second. You've already given up on making the story of your first one and you're moving on to the second one. Which means a lot of the good ideas you had, you're just going to dump into the second one.
Yep.
And, they're a Canadian studio, I believe. But that's kind of like that something doesn't sit right there. It's like, hey, by the way, we're releasing game. Game's good. You like it. Game's not completely done, but thank you for supporting our game while we finish up the story. Almost 6 years later, no, not 6, 8, coming up on 10 for that one. I know it feels like we've given up on the story. Trust me, we haven't given up on the story. We're just trying to write it to make it good. By the way, we're doing a second game. We're doing a sequel.
They're probably got some kind of plan to wrap it up and then launch the sequel.
They best. But the fact that they're also doing a sequel means that they're probably going to try to leave it in a cliffhanger or a weird spot.
That's
Yeah,
probably what the
probably.
plan is.
That's
Probably.
brutal. If we all want to
Mhm.
play it, because the big thing
Yeah.
that looked like it was multiplayer, and I'm convinced that multiplayers will probably push their sequel. But again, we're averaging almost 2 years an episode for the episodic series, The Long Dark.
Still better than half of the episodic games that have so many delays nowadays or just outright get canceled. That's still a better track record.
Half-Life. Okay, but
Well, that and Life is Strange is just dipped in
And Life is
quality.
Only episodic game I want. Only one. and when I say why I want it, you're gonna say, "Oh, that's fair," is the Batman one, and that's because I'm gonna get it physical copy if I can, plug it into my sister's Switch, and have my dad play it because he's a big Batman fan
That's fair. That
and
is
not a
fair.
big gamer.
Yeah.
So the fact
Um,
so that could be pretty good.
Witcher 4. I need to play the previous games. My wife basically made that a law, so
Yeah.
I
Yes.
can't. I don't really have an opinion on those ones right now.
So
But yeah,
basically, we're not going to hear from you for years to come. Is what's happening. Got
pretty
it.
much once we get those games,
Yeah.
I'll just be in my den for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
You're going to be
I'm
in your
curious.
50s.
Yeah. I'm curious about Project Robot
Project Robot looks interesting. It's from the same people that
because,
made Eco and Shadow of the Colossus and
like, if you've ever played Shadow of the Colossus, that game is so smooth. That is such a great game.
so good it got a remake.
Yeah.
And a
Really
good
damn good one
remake.
too.
Yeah.
Good remake.
I know. I own the
So,
limited edition physically.
yep. Um, what else was announced? Mafia: The Old Country. I honestly am
I'm
worried about this one.
I am
Yep.
worried about it too. Paul brought up a very good reason about it, and it
Well,
kind of also bothers me on a religious point, which is why this recording is a Patreon
I
exclusive.
mean, yeah, it's going back to the 1900s, Sicily, but me, it's less about religion and anything like that, but more the fact that they're going for a linear narrative-driven game instead of what Mafia was, which was an open world crime game.
Yeah,
Emulator.
yeah, they're
Yeah, exactly.
changing up the
Okay, so
formula
I'll
entirely.
go through this with Dusty. I'll go through this bit with Dusty real quick. So, the first split within the church was the Orthodox Catholic split.
Yep.
Later on, we had the Protestant split with Martin Luther broke from the Catholic Church. He translated the Bible into German and also wrote the German language.
Which was
And that
also
kind of
for the
solidified,
Lutheran, yeah,
yes, hence
church
the
as well.
Lutheran. But this
Hmm.
also opened up the debate because now everyone could understand and read the Bible, not just the people that lived in Rome,
Hmm.
aka Italy. And then the Orthodox split went to Greece and then went further north. So the main religion in Russia and the Slavic countries over there tends to be Orthodox. Now, a lot of the early ones still tend to have a lot of ethnic ties. We don't think about this because we live in America, but Russian Orthodox, the state church of Russia, not officially, but it is the ethnic church of Russia. Ukrainian Orthodox, even though it's ideologically extremely similar, is the ethnic church of Ukraine. Greek Orthodox, we are starting to hit some theological splits, but I am not as well versed into the Orthodox. But this is where we'll jump right back to the point the observation I had with the Old Country game, Mafia. They show him burning what's called an icon. Iconography is practiced within the older Orthodox and Catholic, where they keep little cards of basic Christian heroes, basically. Whether some of them are famous martyrs, soldiers. Usually, it was someone that died for their faith, and that tends there's a long list there. But at some point, they definitely cross the line into worshiping some of these icons. So these icons, these little cards with the paintings on them, these are considered sacred. Italy 1900s, this is firmly Catholic. The Vatican is there.
Very.
This is Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Not only that, but because Latin is and then later Italian, it kind of split a little. They never really lost the ability to read chunks of the Bible or the Apocrypha like the Germans did. Why that prompted that whole thing up there. So the Latin Church there tended to be a little less I would say strange because Martin Luther had certainly his big argument that caused the split was arguing against prosperity doctrine, and which is pray to God and He'll give you more money. Something the Catholic Church was teaching. Some of the preachers were teaching at the time there for sure. And the printing and sale of indulgences. But now we hit at this point that these are Italians in Latin Catholic areas. And he hands him an icon, which is not only an icon, but that icon was of Mary and Christ. And then he lights it on fire.
And that's where it bothers me, because as someone
because
who's
that shows that they don't understand the time, place, people, or culture.
As someone who actually grew up, and Dusty knows this, but I don't know if you do, Paul, but as someone who grew up Byzantine Catholic, and as someone who grew up with a slight Orthodox background, seeing that kind of really upset me tonight, because that's not, I mean, I don't talk about my religious side often with people because that's not my place, that's not who I am, but
I mean, if you ask me, I will, but
right, but
I know history, and it's like, wait a second, that's wrong.
right,
Yeah,
That is,
yeah. Again, that's something Crash and I have in common, and we both come from religious backgrounds.
Yeah.
Just choose not to talk about it.
we just don't talk about it, but like that really did bother me, because that means that someone on the team had to have either not known about that, or and put it in the game accidentally, or the other thing, which is what I'm thinking Paul's correct on, is someone knew about this, had the historical background and the religious background behind it, knew about the practice, and had decided to put that in as a scene in the trailer for the story just to try and prove a point, which there's so many different ways you could do that without having to do something like what you just did. That really did bug me, and I'm sure at some point there's going to be people in the next week or two that's going to bring it up online and talk about it.
well,
and
unfortunately, within the Orthodox community, especially,
yeah,
one of my friends is devout Orthodox. I attended his wedding 2 years ago,
yeah,
and I'm very curious to see how he's going because I found out some stuff later, and it's like, ooh, that's not...
yeah. So I was hyped for this game at first. I really was really hyped for this game. Now I'm like, something's not connecting the dots here. So
Dispatch looks like it's going to be an interesting concept.
Yeah.
So
interesting concept, but just like in the Assassin's Creed Japan, where they put in the half Torii gate, and then they put in the half Torii gate and showed it in the Torii gate, the story.
Yes,
Torii
yes.
Gate, right? Yeah, where they put that in there in feudal Japan. It's like, okay, they clearly didn't do their research. They clearly didn't.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah, so we'll move on from Mafia because it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I
That's
get
not
the
good.
feeling they either didn't do their research or they're trying to slap someone in the face. And Orthodox
Yeah.
really are willing to let it go and just not touch it. But
But
when they
this
do
is
that,
crossing a line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're trying to push buttons. That's
Yeah.
what they're trying to do.
they're trying to push buttons, and honestly, the Orthodox are not like the buttons that you can are not buttons
No.
you can really push.
But moving on,
No.
because Paul, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but we need to move on.
So the next game that was a game called Dispatch,
Yeah. Dispatch
cast.
looked.
and that's an interesting concept. So we'll see how that turns out.
They have to go comedy with that, I feel.
Probably.
Because if they try to go serious with it, it's not going to work.
No.
No, well, the fact that they've got actors like Aaron Paul, Laura Bailey, Jacksepticeye, and Matt Mercer, I'm thinking they're going to go comedy.
It's going to have to be a comedy. There's no way that it can work as some like.
There is Matt Mercer, but I know him for his serious roles.
Right.
Aaron Paul was Jesse in Breaking Bad.
So again, a serious role.
Yeah, but he was also kind of a goofy character.
If the actor has range, then that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he has range. Yeah.
Aaron Paul
Mercer
has range.
Aaron Paul has range. Aaron Paul's a very underrated actor. He was also in the Final Fantasy Kingslave movie.
I'll also say there tends to be a handful of actors that don't have range. and I hate to say, I think Ryan Reynolds is one of them.
Yeah, Reynolds is also very heavily typecast for a reason. He's not a very
Yeah.
flexible. He's not that flexible. But
Well,
moving
and
on.
that's why Dispatch also has like this sort of eclectic cast too, because this really could go in like 5 different directions. But
Yeah,
again,
like Jeffrey Wright in this one.
yeah,
Like that's a big actor.
it's
I
really
again don't
big.
know who that is, so
Did you see The
and
Foundation on Apple TV?
I have not. I intend to read the books.
Okay. Well, that show is fantastic, by the way.
I
Let
know it's
me.
Asimov. I know it's Isaac
Oh,
Asimov.
okay.
The last,
Uh, okay, no, I got them mixed up. Did you see the Batman, the 2022
yeah,
movie, the Batman?
yes,
He was
with the
Detective
sparkly.
Gordon.
Okay,
Yeah,
again, serious role.
Mhm.
but the point is, Dispatch could work. It's just waiting to see more
This
of
much
what they
could work.
actually do with it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to. Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna play it because even if they go comedy and it'll be great, I'll want to watch enough of it to make sure that that's actually going to be great. And by the time you've watched enough of a narrative-driven story, especially narrative-driven comedy, it's
I
not
hate to say it,
you
but
might have done it.
yeah, the more we talk about it, the more I realize this is kind of a game that like I feel would work as like watching as a let's play and not as like actually playing it.
We'll have to see as time goes on and more comes
Yeah,
out about it, I think.
you
Yeah.
guys have seen. Thank
Um,
goodness you're here. That
yeah.
game. Yeah,
Um,
once you've seen someone do a long play of that, there's no point in playing
Nah.
it.
yeah. Yeah, it's also why I avoided every Let's Player for Journey. I wanted to experience that game for myself.
Journey is a great game. So
Journey's an amazing game,
nah.
but that one I will never ever stream.
Also,
Um,
interactive games. I was gonna say one that's worth bringing up, which I think Paul just did, but they got rid of all the interactive games on Netflix recently because Netflix sucks ass. But
Netflix games just didn't work very well, anyways.
no, but
Yeah,
one you
Um,
should look up is Cat Burglar. Is the whole experience is actually up on YouTube with the animation and all.
yeah.
It harkens back to old
Um,
Tex Avery cartoons.
yeah, that one's actually worth watching if you can find it. But the next game, Split Fiction. It's a new
oh,
co-op,
Oh
so
yeah,
like
yeah, that
that's
was the
something yeah, it's another one from the It Takes Two people.
Yep.
I
I'm gonna
forgot
point out
about
So
something
that.
real quick. I'm gonna point out
that
something
one
real
I'm
quick
gonna
about this. I pointed out at the time.
so that one I'm gonna play with my wife for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, if you don't want to hear what I'm about to, well, you know what? The Crash has already heard what I'm about to point out here. But if you think if you and someone else gets sucked into basically the animus from Assassin's Creed, and it's not supposed to happen, and there are people telling you, "Hey, you need to get out."
Yeah,
What do you do? It's like, hang on, is this the person that owns it trying to get you out? You might want to actually get out. And that was something I saw in the boss fights. Like, get them quick. We need to get them out. Like, so I'm willing to bet the boss fights, some of them at least, are the CEO of the company trying to get them out.
watch it be one whole big meta experience.
Yeah.
Also, let's get the
Um,
two obvious ones out of the way right now. Turkoff and Borderlands 4.
Turok.
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 I said it, Turok.
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 I have my
Uh,
copy of Turok here for the Game
I
Boy Advance.
I still got a boner
Turok.
from that announcement.
Wow, it smells.
The game or the boner?
Oh,
The game. I had it in like one of those sealed up for years in one of those single player Game Boy Advance cartridges. So I opened it up to stale air from God knows how long.
oh,
And
you.
so I opened up and
What
smelled
a
it.
delicious whiff.
Yeah. Yeah, Turok. I'm so excited for Turok to come back.
I
I'm
never
really
thought
stoked.
in a million fucking years we'd get a new
No, because
Turok.
Turok was owned at one point by Disney, so we all thought it was just kind of going to be abandoned.
Oh goodness.
But
I
Saber
guess somehow
put
the
their hands on it.
licensing expired or some shit.
Yeah, Saber Interactive got it, and that's a good company. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Well, yeah, they make all the Power Rangers stuff and like some of the other stuff.
No, not Saban.
Oh,
Saber.
Saber. That different company. That's right. Never mind.
Saber did the Mech Warrior games and the Kingdom Come Deliverance games.
That's right.
I have Kingdom Come Deliverance too, so and
Yeah.
next year because I need to save some money a bit.
Yep.
I need to clear my backlog of games first.
Yeah.
I might go
Borderlands.
it is, but not
Uh,
really new games.
Borderlands 4. We need a palate cleanser from the movie. We need a good
Well,
game.
that's what this is, and I'm so
Yeah.
happy because the gameplay in the trailer outright confirms
Yeah.
it.
I have
It's
to hit up Dusty with something real quick.
yeah.
Before you play the Witcher games, I don't remember how many Witcher books there are. I could probably look this up real quick, but the Witcher games are a sequel to the Witcher books.
I have the
And
prequel book.
You have
So
the prequel.
I have the prequel book.
Because here's the thing with Witcher books. I'm just looking up the series now because two of these Witcher books have the feeling of a prequel written after the fact.
So I need to
So you need
read
to
the
read the
books.
ones that are not prequels after the fact. The Last
Okay.
Witch, The Sword of Destiny, the Blood. No, wait. Everything but the Last Wish. and Sword of
Breathe,
Destiny.
Paul. Breathe.
Start at the Blood of Elves, the third one.
Okay. Send those to me yeah. So send those to me later. We'll send me the titles and I'll look them up. Virtual Fighter coming back.
Well, no, we didn't stop talking about Borderlands 4. Hang on, go back.
Okay. Borderlands 4.
Yeah,
Borderlands
don't.
4, we know how it's gonna go.
Yeah, no,
Well,
don't rush over Borderlands 4. Fuck both of you.
Look, I just want to.
That's me messing with him.
I know.
I'll just I know it's gonna be a solid game. I know
No.
the gameplay is going to be great.
I look.
I just want a better villain.
Look, and that's what we might be getting. Because, like, look, we've got new guns. We've got 4 brand new Vault Hunters that have no correlation with the other games whatsoever, or the movie. We've got new planets. We've got new environments. We've got fucking alien Terminators. We've got evil cybernetic masks that take over the psychos' bodies. I mean,
Very cyberpunk.
yeah, very cyberpunky. And on top of that, like,
I always figured Borderlands was more post-apocalypse, but it could be cyberpunk.
it's kind of a blend of both.
It's cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's kind of
the framework of society,
Nah.
which is where some of the cyberpunk stories do happen.
Yeah, I mean it's probably based on what planet you're on as well.
It's specifically in 2 and 3, it kind of hinges on that. But the point is, like, this definitely has no correlation with the movie whatsoever. And on top of that, like, we're also getting so much in terms of variety with just the way the guns are designed, just from what we saw in the gameplay, and just the aliens we're fighting off. So, fuck,
Also,
I'm excited.
Also, I think Randy Pitchford is desperate for this game to work, so he pretty much put in everything that he thinks is going to be cool for people in the game, which usually works out for him.
Oh yeah, and you could tell that a lot of the money that if he had any money left from the movie, he definitely funneled into this.
Into the game because he was butthurt when the film flopped.
Oh, he was so butthurt. So
even though he was barely even involved in the movie.
Yeah, but okay, now we can move on.
Virtual Fighter, they're coming back.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. It's not the fighting game I wanted to come back, but I'm
But it
happy
looks cool.
to see more fighting games coming back. Like you know what franchise I want to come back, but we'll see if if the new Onimusha does well for Capcom. Maybe Capcom will bring back these older franchises.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, Onimusha, I'm going to support it just because there's other Capcom franchises that I want to come back.
Honestly, I think that's the only other games I could think of that.
Because Sonic Racing, don't care.
I don't care about the MOBAs. I don't care about Fortnite. I don't care about Horrorverse.
The Ninja Gaiden 2D side-scroller game.
That one looked okay.
That one looks okay. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna probably end up playing it because
there's one or two Metrovanias that looked okay.
Yeah, Thick as Thieves was going to be a multiplayer
Eh,
game that has the original feel of the old Thief games. So, I mean,
The Witcher books for you there.
all right, thank you. Um, yeah, it's sports games like soccer, Power World Expansion, don't care. Dave the Diver didn't play the. Some PlayStation games going went to PC. They come out broken anyways, so have
exactly.
fun with the bugs.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
and
for
Final
me,
Fantasy's coming to PC. Ooh.
Woo.
again, Final Fantasy's never had a good track record going on to PC. Even when the original 7 launched,
No.
no one liked the PC version. They all bought the PlayStation version instead.
Well, and that's the one thing I want to do a side tangent on with the Patreon exclusive recording is this Game Awards for it being the 10th anniversary fucking sucked
Here's the
overall.
thing, like the guy is just so obsessed with announcements over actual gameplay, over showing off actual games.
Yeah.
That's
Like
where his obsession is, and that's what's hurting the Game Awards. So yeah, I didn't even bother watching it because of it.
I almost
It's like
didn't
the
this year
dude.
either.
It's like when the dude's like, "Hey, we don't see these as." There's one dude who came out at the end, and he honestly it sounded like it could be a corporatist talk, but on the other hand, if it wasn't, then it was really good. If it was, then it was a little bullshit. But basically, he pointed out that they actually do care about the stuff that they're making. I was like, okay, well, a lot of games feel like the people who made them don't actually care about it.
They don't.
Like,
They really don't.
can confirm like the people that are making the new Star Wars and the people that made the Netflix Witcher didn't care about it.
No. Well,
Some
and
of them even came out
that's
in interviews afterwards and said that they didn't care about it.
well, and that's the thing that upset me about this Game Awards a lot. And Paul and Matt, aka Iron, saw on stream tonight. Like I literally in the midway point of the Game Awards and into the end actually fell asleep for a little bit. Like on stream. That's how boring this shit was because and I said it perfectly earlier in the stream was the very beginning of Game Awards was hype. The entire middle section was so boring and then the very end was hype again. But even then, like a lot of the stuff that was sprinkled in between was either just updates, kind of sort of release dates for things I don't care about.
Why were PC port announcements part of the Game Awards?
Yeah, ton
That
of
shouldn't have
PC
even been a
ports for
thing.
some reason.
That shouldn't have even
Ads,
been a thing.
ads for no reason, and then on top of that, like just fucking MOBAs, like nonstop.
It's mobile games because
Like
there's money in there.
I,
Um,
my God, but
and
MOBAs need to
and
calm
like
the
I'm
fuck
always
down.
happy to see a Metroidvania. I'm gonna always play those because I like those games.
Yeah, there was two that was announced tonight.
Yeah, two. Shadow Labyrinth looks pretty cool, but the Ninja Gaiden didn't one I'm gonna definitely play.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, I don't even want to bother covering or talking about the rest of the other games tonight because it's like there was only a small handful I was excited for. There's Turok, Borderlands, Okami, Intergalactic, and
I mean, Outer Worlds 2 was also announced, but I have to wait for Avowed before I can actually show excitement for it because Obsidian is in such a weird place right now as a studio.
it really
I,
is.
oh dear, I will say their commercial for that crashed at Belfort, but it was pretty freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah, I did miss the commercial for Outer Worlds
Just
too.
like from the people that made the Star Wars: The Old Republic
Yeah.
Part 2, and
Yeah.
uh, another game. There's like another game Part 2.
Well, and
Fallout
out
3
in New
Part
Vegas.
2,
Yep.
New Vegas, comes a completely original idea. Another Part 2.
Yeah. Like like the Outer Worlds, the first game is so good. The first Outer Worlds is fantastic. So I want to be excited for it, but I have to wait to see how Avowed turns out
I haven't
because
even played the first Outer Worlds.
it's really goddamn good.
They did show gameplay though, so
There you
Yeah.
go.
it looks
So
hmm
it
But
looks
yeah,
like
I
it's gonna be not a narrative. It looks like it's good. So
it looks like it's going to be, the same open world game as the first, but bigger.
and it looks, and from what you guys are saying, it looks like it's going to be a good narrative.
It looks good, but yeah, because Obsidian is in kind of a transition phase right now with their team, kind of hard to say what's going to happen.
Well, and that's what pissed me off about tonight was like this was supposed to be the 10th anniversary of this fucking thing, right? Of the Game Awards. And they put in barely any thought into actually celebrating the 10th anniversary. The only thing that we got that actually focused on the 10th anniversary of this thing was, oh hey, we got one or two exclusive announcements just for the 10th anniversary, and here's kind of a quick 1 minute speech from Keegley, and that's it. And
there
like
was
Paul
one
said,
more
the
point.
guy at the end.
Yeah.
There was one more point, and I'm gonna point this out, and I'm not 100% sure about Amir here. And to all fairness, he could very well be, super awesome, and I'm gonna go forward treating him like he is super awesome here. But it's the work that he was doing. I'll describe it in a minute. I'm not 100% sure on. I'm not 100% sure on because I've seen charities that are nothing more than scams.
Mm-hmm.
So his charity that he does is because in the American system, devs will hire on a bunch of game devs. Sorry, it is. My neighbor woke up. Above me woke up and said, "Oh, shoot." So I want to be quieter now. Um, the American game system, what they'll do is they'll they'll hire on a bunch of coders and like the guys who actually do the heavy technical work for the game,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll lay them off right before they release the game, or
Mm-hmm.
majority of them off right before they release the game, and then they'll wind up keeping most of the stuff, most of the money that they made off of it. And so Amir had a charity there. He's like, I'm helping, you know, get some of these displaced guys new jobs, skills, and stuff like that to get them back into the industry because he loves the industry there. It's like, that's good. I think the way it's set up now might be a little crooked because you'd also think, why don't these guys that are doing all the heavy lifting, why don't they just form their own studio?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, sometimes their code gets copywritten and patented by the people, by the company. So they can't even use, so if they learn a new trick that makes coding so much easier, or they find a new way to code a particular villain or enemy to make it behave in a certain way, can't use it. You can't use it. You're laid off, but you can't use it. So he looks like he's doing some really good work. That said, when I look at some of the games and how glitchy and more glitchy and more glitchy came out, I'm just like, are you doing the right thing? Or some of these people might be getting dismissed for good ass reason.
No, and that's a fair point, and
Yeah.
it's
I know the other person I know who does a charity to help with this. He's helping indie games learn to code themselves and set it up. And this is Thor on Pirate Software, and he has streams where he'll do this, and he's making his own game. And he's also been heavily involved in the industry. So it's like, okay, so one guy is actually like teaching you how to do it and helping you do it on your own, and then this guy here is helping you find a job back in this corporate structure. It's like, are one of you? I don't know. It's like something. He could very well be doing very good work, and so far, it looks like he is.
but
But
something still feels
I'm
off.
not 100% sure it's the right direction.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. It's not. I don't doubt that Keegley is a good person. I don't doubt that he donates to all these charities and helps with job
Well,
placements
this
and
was
stuff.
This was the dude that they took a break
Oh,
on to do the.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But like,
Yeah, it's Amir Kavat who did that.
yeah, that's a mirror.
But
But
it looks like he's doing good work, but I'm not sure if the direction that the work that he's doing is a good direction.
fair enough. Well, and I guess that's what upsets me about the game industry right now too. Is like I hate to say it, but part of the reason why I stopped playing video games a lot this year was just because there hasn't been anything that really piqued my interest enough to actually
That's all the
like,
time.
well, that, yeah, in time, because it's like, I play a video game to get immersed in its environment, in its story, in its arcadey feel, in something that's fun, in something that presents a message or a narrative that to me challenges me or makes me think differently or makes me see something from a different perspective or brings about a different, point of view, or even if it is the same point of view, it's spun in a different way. And that's not just for like driven games. That's like, cozy games, action games, adventure games. Even arcadey racing goofy games could still have like a fun dynamic to them, right? But like this year especially, I haven't played much video games. And most of the content that I've put out this year was not focused on video games. You know what most of my content was this year? Movies. Movie
Yeah.
reviews and some taste tests. And I experimented with a lot of things this year. And I mean, some of it worked, some of it didn't. But the point in, I'm going to wrap this back up to wrap this to the Game Awards again, but like, you know, a lot of the stuff that I've done this year was because I took the push and that initiative on a physical, mental, and in some cases, even a financial scale to, branch out and do something different. And some of it paid off, some of it didn't. But like with the Game Awards, it just feels like all these games that are getting announced and all these games that are getting talked about and release dates and trailers and reveals and cinematic trailers, it just, the magic and that innovation to, push and do something dynamic and different just isn't there. That spark is just gone, if that makes any
When you
sense.
just open up your Steam and like start scrolling down, and you'll see way more titles that it's if you'll see the big ones and some people that paid to be on there, but then you'll see other things. Like I just scrolled down to community recommends Soul Reaver remake. It's like okay,
Yeah,
Soul Reaver was okay.
I remember Soul Reaver.
RuneScape, Indiana Jones: A Great Circle, Ratchet and Clank, Caves of Cud. No idea what that's about. Looks interesting. It Takes Two, Fast Food Simulator, Marvel Rivals. Okay, this is a what is this? Another
Rivals is fun as fuck.
Marvel
the
Rivals is
R18
fun.
game, and Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Oh, and Metaphor and Dark Souls.
Yeah. But you're
So if I start
noticing a
scrolling,
theme.
yeah, I scroll down again. Slime Rancher 2, For the King 2, Alone in the Dark, Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Yeah, but you're noticing a theme even just by scrolling down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're like all these games that are mentioned here. Reverse 1999, which is free to play, another anime game.
Right.
Um,
Y-
Robin Hood, the Sherwood bundles.
Yeah, you're just
Soul
proving my
Risk.
point.
Yeah, that these are they kind of miss like there's big things that are yeah.
Like,
Kind of why I mostly play older games now.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I only play like
I
certain games. That's why, and it's why I've been playing more goofier games and cozier games on stream now. Why I've been pushing myself away from like a lot of these other games, especially these live service games, which that was my other issue. It felt like most of the Game Awards was dedicated to live service and MOBAs rather than actual like narrative driven stuff.
and
Yeah,
one of the yeah, and here's the thing.
because
newer game. I know Crash deserved it. I'll give it to Dusty too. Black Myth Wukong takes a step outside of the European mythological framework, a different story, and it's a single player. It's not a live service. If I buy that I can buy that 10 years from now and play it, and it will still be the same experience playing it for the first time. The MOBAs, the live
It was like that last year.
Yeah, live service games can't do that.
No.
If I don't buy Space Marine 2 or Helldivers 2 today, if I wait, 10 years, you know what? Can't buy it. And if I bought it on sale and I don't get into it for a while, guess what? Can't play it.
Yep. What were you gonna say,
Icarus
Dusty?
looks interesting. Yeah. So it's like you have to get it now.
What were you gonna say, Dusty? Dusty?
Fallen asleep.
No, I'm playing Dragon Age Origins.
Ah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been mostly focusing on older games or games that strictly are single player, or games that have that for story. And it's also why whenever there's a Metroidvania game out, I get excited because most of those are those single player exploratory focused games,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I still play them. Hell, I replayed Metroid Prime this year.
Great game.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
So something I'm hoping to see, and this will be like a weird, interesting transitory period, and I think we might be in this transitory period now, is that, especially with AI being able to do heavy coding work, that would make it easier for more creative people to jump in and make a game. And that what we'll see is the best games that you'll actually like want to play and remember, 10 years later, will be indie titles. And some of the big studios that can honestly eat the cost are probably going to be just live service stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and the only thing that I dislike with that is that there's a new genre of games that's starting to appear, and I can already see several of them. Lockdown Protocol, Backrooms, Escape Together. If I scroll down a bit more, I'm sure I'll find another one.
The streamer
Sure, but
category
these are,
games.
Here we are, Liar's Bar. These are games that are not fun to play when you're, just hop on and play some. They're games where it's like you gotta have convince 4 other people to buy it so you can all play it together. And then you set up your yeah.
Yeah.
And so I call these like dreamer genre because that's exactly what it is.
Well, and that's why I agree with your idea from earlier. They should just make a category as part of the Game Awards that's specifically the streamer genre of games.
Yeah. Which is again probably the only reason why I play Marvel Rivals is because the game is free
Yeah.
and I can play with friends. That's it.
But like if it offered a standalone experience, would you have played it?
If it was like a standalone single player experience
Mode, and then the multiplayer mode.
with arcade, yeah, I would play the arcade mode for sure.
Hmm. Well, guys, I'm falling asleep.
Yep.
So I'm gonna
So yeah.
I'm gonna end it here. So, but
Mech Warriors Clans, Death Note. There's another streamer game
right,
out
that just keeps proving
there.
the point.
Dawson Stationary Supplies. That's a streamer game.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in for this Patreon exclusive recording. I'll upload it at some point in the future. So
Mustard gas is really easy to make. Just don't do it at home.
yeah, don't make mustard gas.
You definitely know how to make it because you can accidentally make it.
And don't make cocaine chocolate.
It's actually
Meth chocolate, sorry.
it is meth chocolate. Yeah.
Don't make meth chocolate.
The main ingredient is pervitin.
Don't combine mustard gas with meth chocolate. You will die.
You'll die and you'll take a lot of people. You'll take someone out with you.
You will.
Old Republic, free to play. Yeah, when I look at something like Grounded here, like this looks like it might be interesting. I know it's on my wish list. It's kind of a crafty.
Yeah, even Grounded.
Old video games. Don't play new ones.
Yeah.
Fully Grounded is an indie one.
But
it is
still.
a crafting cozy game, which is a lot of what I do like.
All right.
Yeah, when I look at some of these, because a lot of crafting, because I think Minecraft is really like the first big crafting game.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to bed, guys.
Yep. Night.
Good night.
But because you said, hey, you should get